Sorry, typing on the socials there. Hi, welcome. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Sci-Fi Vision. I've lost my brain as usual. But it's June 17th, and this is the 6th episode of Murderbot, which is called offhand. I'm trying to remember what's it called. Command feed. There we go. I'll get it eventually.
Yeah. None of those titles really come off the tongue really well.
No, they don't. You mute my thing here before it starts making noise. Sorry about that. All right. Well, what did you think of the episode? This was kind of a crazy episode. I feel like this is where the shit started to hit the fan.
This is where the Murderbot starts to Murderbot.
Yeah, exactly.
The Murderbots.
Yep.
I liked it. I got kind of confused in the beginning because it kind of just started without, because they're kind of driving the vehicle into the fire, and then they were just, fixing it.
Yeah, well, it ended with the explosion, so
yeah.
It kind of it picked up right there. But quite right. Here, give me 1 second. I want to tell everybody if I can get I don't know why it doesn't want to work there. There we go. Tell everybody to join us. It hasn't. 1 second. I got to get better at doing two things at once, then I won't have to do that. But anyway, but thank you everybody for coming. Make sure that if you haven't, that you like and subscribe to Sci-Fi Vision and check out all our videos and live streams and all that good stuff. But I like this episode. I thought that like I said, yeah, the shit's starting to hit the fan. I thought that he was starting to be more like them, and now I'm not exactly sure what to think after that, I guess, would be what I would say. So, yeah, I don't know. It definitely surprised me, but at the same time, he's kind of like, well, I saved you, so why are you upset now? And really, they shouldn't be, right?
It's just doing his job.
Yeah, he is doing his job. But I love a lot of his I guess you'd say smartassness in this episode. he's not hiding things anymore. Now that they know, he doesn't pretend anymore, which I appreciated, I guess would be the best way to say that. But yeah, so I get what you're saying. We started out with this clip. First, we start with Sanctuary Moon. Mm-hmm. So what do you think about this crazy part of the soap opera he's watching? It's quite bizarre, but I don't know. It's funny, but it's a little weird.
Yeah, it's interesting to me because last night there was free HBO weekend and I watched Companion. So I don't know if you've seen the movie Companion.
Oops.
I could apply a little bit to this situation with this, the robot and feelings and the like. Yeah. She's not a sex bot by far.
No, she does not seem to be a sex bot either. But yeah, he wants to have a relationship with her regardless. Kind of makes me wonder if they're ever going to push that on the show if there's another season, I don't know that it would make sense or work, but I could see them being more comedy surrounding that, like how the BB tried to kiss him and stuff, and he was so weirded out.
Yeah, she did. Yeah. She didn't quite seduce anybody in the crew.
No, she tried. And I feel like tonight, and we'll get to this when we get there, but I feel like she was trying Barks, how are you saying name? Barks Watch now. I feel like that's why she was being all sweet to her. It's like she tried everybody, and when it didn't work, she finally gave up.
Yeah.
Wow. I think something.
And now she's gone.
Yeah, now she's gone. But yeah, yeah. But so we start off with this, like I said, this soap opera, and he is still watching it because he's stressed out, basically. He sort of says that's why. I think it's funny that he gets stressed out, but he does say that if she wasn't a sex bot, that she wouldn't care about any of the things she's talking about in the show because she wouldn't have any genitals or dopamine. And that's kind of my point. Like, he clearly is in the same boat there. But yeah, They are. Left off the last episode with the explosion of the beacon, and now they can't get anywhere, and there's no diagnostics or anything. But Mensa and him are both okay, and he tells her that if they do get it started, he should be able to fly it. And he's standing there talking, and I don't think I have a picture of it. Might be after. Let me see. He's standing there and you can't see it from that angle. He's got a big piece of metal coming out of his stomach, and he's just talking and continuing like it's nothing. It's from the printer, but she tells him, we have to hurry up and get going, because if we don't, they might be coming after somebody else to kill somebody else, or to kill the people on their team. Whoever set off the beacon, I'll get it eventually, might be coming after the team. And he's like, yeah, they might be trying to kill him. And I love how he's like just totally calm. And she's like, why are you saying it like that? And then he's like in his head, well, because I don't want to freak you out. Or really, he is freaked out, which I like that he's a little scared. He's, like I said, he seems to be at this point having more emotions. But this is where she asks him about a repair manual, and he says that he erased the one in his head because he wants to be able to watch his, I don't know why two copies of pictures, but he wants to be able to watch his soap. And he wasn't doing it to try to hurt them. Yeah. And he's like, it's a premium quality show. And she's like, no, it's not. He's like, we'll just agree to disagree. That's what I mean. Like, he's just saying how he feels and not worrying about if they don't like it, which I think makes it so much funnier, which he really didn't do before, because he was trying to hide the fact that he didn't have to listen. Now he just kind of does what he wants, Hold on a second. My head's plugged.
One more step to Murderbot.
Yeah, maybe. Well, it seems like it later.
Yeah.
But she does tell him to take that out. But she's not too happy with him. But he's leaking. She does make a point of letting him know, he's leaking all over the place. I do think somewhere I thought I had a picture of it. There.
Yeah, there you go.
He's like, oh, I don't know what I think he said something like, oh shit, or something to that effect.
Yeah.
As it's coming out. But yeah, he's gotta get it fixed. And then we have
this instrument.
I guess I wasn't sure at first if he was just like air guitaring, but I guess he was supposed to be really playing. It's not a theremin though, but it's kind of like a theremin or something.
It kind of sounded like a sitar, like some kind of electric space sitar.
Yeah, space sitar, exactly. I don't know, but it was kind of interesting. But he is not really doing anything. Pinley and Arata are off packing, and he offers to help, and they're like, we're almost done. So yeah, they're just kind of not really including him all that much. Not that he does a lot to begin with, honestly. He doesn't seem to really be much help, period. But and then Grathan is trying to call the hopper. Oops, I lost my thing. And hasn't been able to get a hold of Mensa, and he seems to be getting more and more paranoid as he goes, hoping that he can get a hold of her. Oh, I get so annoyed. These pictures are cropped. I don't know why. Apple seems to be wider than any of the other shows, because all the other ones fit, and then I get to this one and they don't want to fit.
It looks okay enough.
Yeah, I know. It looks okay, but I'm wondering if I should have tried to crop each side off, because now the one side's completely cropped off. If it gets too bad, I'll try to fix it.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I need to try to leave it alone. It bugs me though. I can't help it. But this is where Labibi talks to Barks Watch, however you say it. And she asks about the mark on her arm, and she tells her how that, whatever you want to call it, that centipede alien thingy almost killed her, and how she still can't sleep because of it. So it's still affecting her. And this is where she kisses her hand, and she's like, is that weird? She's like, no, it's sweet. It's like, yes, it's weird. But and this is where, I'm saying I think that she's moved on to her, because she wasn't able to flirt with and have any, she wasn't able to have any luck with the other ones when she flirted with them. because she tried Grathan last week and it didn't work. But he is still talking about, let's see, there she is. There's where she kisses it. Sorry, I was a little bit behind there. So yeah, very strange. So he is still trying to find out about the beacon. He doesn't see anything saying that it actually went up. And Barswatch is worried, what if those things come back? Because she's just had this conversation. And Labibi's like, oh, well, if it comes back, they'll be fine because they have your cute little sec unit taken care of.
Yeah.
I love that. And he's like, it's not cute. Wait, I lost where I was again. Sorry about that.
Okay.
But she's like, it's not, and he's like, it's not cute. She's like, well, if you we talk again about the attachable penis. She's like, if you attached a penis and programmed it, it would be.
It'd be cute.
Yeah, that would make it cute, I guess. And then Barswatch sort of gets a little upset about this. She's like, we don't talk about them that way. I like how she tries to find an analogy. She's like, no, can't really find an analogy like that. Yeah. There's not a lot.
Yeah, like how she said something like you buy them, you own them, kind of a thing.
Yeah, she said that after, but
yeah.
She's trying to find an analogy for an attachable penis. I don't think that's gonna really happen, but it's funny. And then we have, let's see, and please stop me from going too fast. I'm just trying to see. We go back to Mensa and Sec Unit, and he is actually worried that something is going to happen and that they're going to die, all because he had to have his 19th season of Sanctuary Moon. And he's saying that the wiring is, I guess, burnt out in the hopper. And she's like, well, can't you just print something new, print new wiring? Which I gotta say, if that's all they have to do in the future, is just print things, it's pretty easy. But I think that things are getting closer to that. Hold on, I gotta take etc. Because I know now they have AI to 3D models, and that I was reading before, like in real life, that means pretty soon, like you probably will be able to eventually just like scan something and print it out, print out a new one. So yeah, I think
like
that's
your
really
kidney.
Yeah, like a kidney, no. But wires maybe. Kidney might be a little bit longer. Although, they do actually have 3D printed joints and stuff that they can like attach your DNA to now. I remember reading about some of that before. But yeah, organs, not quite. They're getting there. But wires maybe. But he's like, well, the printer's in my side. Can't really use it. So it's not going to work. But she starts having... There's where he said the wires is messed up. She starts having a panic attack again, which she's obviously had before, and worries that she's having a heart attack. And he's like, no, you're not having a heart attack. Yes, I'm yes, I'm looking, and I know you're not. I don't know if she isn't aware that she has panic attacks. I would think with the amount of time she's had them that she should be somewhat aware that there's a possibility this isn't a heart attack, but I don't know. But he tells her, he gets her to
maybe she's in denial of them.
Maybe, but I just usually, people look a lot. Don't get me wrong. A lot of times when people have panic attacks, they thought it was a heart attack. But usually, if you have them all the time, I would assume that by then you would know that maybe that's what happens. But she's freaking out, and he knows she's okay, but he's trying to help her. And again, he has no idea how. I love that he tries, and he's like, "Well, sit down and look at the screen," and he starts showing her his. There's where he sees she's fine. He starts showing her a clip of there. She's like, I am having a heart attack. That's great. He puts the video on the screen, and there you can see it says he's sharing it. There's the sanctuary moon. And he tells her to watch the screen, and that this is something that works for him. And she's like, when you're having a heart attack, and that's when he says, no, I don't have a heart. Just watch it.
I like how he was singing along with the theme song.
Yeah, he starts singing the theme song. I love that too. And I love that he really is trying to help her. And she's like, sanctuary fucking moon. she's really annoyed at this point. Which she's panicking a little less though, even though she's a little pissed off. But he tells her that this one is soothing. It's about they discovered bacterial infection which causes synchronized breathing. That these crystal eaters have a short life cycle and are dying. And she's like, well, it's implausible. And he's like, no, it's canon. Like he doesn't get it. This is, this is a show. It's not real life. But they start saying on the show to breathe in the crystal air. And yeah, she starts listening to it and breathing deep, and it seems to actually help her. So I love that he figured out a way to help her in his own way, and it worked. I think it's funny, but like I love it. And I mean, that's what she needed. So it was.
And he also got to watch his show at the same time.
You're right. He also got to watch his show. Win-win. Win-win. But yeah, he does though. Is still leaking, and let's look here. When he stands up, she's like, "You're leaking still," and he says. First he says, don't touch him. She like touches and be like, don't touch. And he's like, I'm not human. Humans would not be okay. You need to understand I'm not human. And then he passes out.
Yeah, I like how it just started slowing down gradually.
Yeah, Leo started talking real slow, and then suddenly he fell over, and it's like, yep, he's affected too. He thinks he's not, but he is. So yeah. Then we go back to, I feel like I'm going really fast. Sorry, my notes aren't great. So then we go back.
He got that metal. He got the metal in him from the explosion.
Yeah, it was supposed to be, I think, part of a printer, I guess, that flew into his side and lodged itself. And of course, because Ham just pulled it out without worrying about what happened, and that's what made it drippy everywhere. But we go back to the other group, and they are asking Labibi about where she's from, how she got to Deltfall. And this is where she talks again about being an indentured servant, and that she was getting a better rate when she went on this trip. And
because it's going to be 4 years, but this would be 2.5.
Yeah, it makes it easier, right? To get 7.5. Yeah. But Bark's Watch, who's always trying to, I guess, find the good in everything, is like, you should come visit us on our planet. We don't have indentured servants. It'll all be good. Like, I guess she was saying that she could get her sanctuary and she wouldn't have to finish off her indentured servitude. I don't know. But she's like, no, because I gotta finish so I can get money because I'm gonna buy a license for childbirth. That is really awful. And hopefully not where our universe is going. But yeah,
sometimes I wish people that had kids would have some kind of IQ test.
Yeah, yes, I agree. They should have an IQ test before they have kids. That I definitely agree with. But she asks, well, how do you pay for them? And she's like, the community, as opposed to the people paying for them. But I love when she goes, but where does the money come from? And he goes, debt. So he doesn't necessarily agree with everything, but I thought that was funny. His thoughts, and she talks about them selling scientific information, which is why they're on this trip in the first place, because they hope that they can find whatever they find when they dig, or what they intended to find before the maps got screwed up and they ran into the alien monsters. That the idea was that they could sell this information to somebody and exploit it, or like he says, sell it to the evil corporate fucks, is what he says. Again, interjecting his thoughts. And I mean, if it helps him, right? But this is where then they start talking about the maps. And again, I think this is her trying to find out information. Like, she's still sort of hoping that they'll tell her something. And she's like, about the shitty maps. And she's like, oh, were yours okay? Ours had missing parts. And, they know that. She knows they know that. But she's trying to get them to talk about it. She's like, we went to check out where the map said to or the parts that weren't on the maps, I guess. And that's when the big centipede creatures tried to eat them. And, I have to question, like, when Barkswatch was telling her this whole story, her whole story, if that was the case, like, why wouldn't she have been like, oh, we have those too? You know, she brings it up now and didn't bring it up before, which
Well,
definitely
she was trying
it
the fine art of seduction before, and it didn't work. So this is Plan B.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying that like if I was Barks Watch, I would have been like thinking, well, why didn't she say that before when I was talking about it? Because it seems like something that would have made sense for her to mention. Sorry. But she didn't, and she's mentioning it now. And he's like, I think she says that that's when they came back in the other sec units, or the sec units were different. And Garathan's like, where did the outside sec unit come from? And she's like, I was too busy trying not to get killed. And she's like, what did you see? And that's kind of my point. Like, she's giving them only a little bit of information just to get information from them. And I think I get the opinion that he has already figured out that she is not to be trusted, because
it's bad news.
Yeah, because she makes a comment about him not, and I don't know if it was here or not she makes the comment, but somewhere she makes the comment that he'll give her the information. And I took it as, and I was curious what you thought, I took it that he was purposely not giving her information and was only giving like things that weren't important, because he had already figured out that she was trying to weasel information out of them. I don't know. Did you feel like that?
Yeah, I got the same impression that she was trying to get information out of them, and he wasn't going to give it to her.
Yeah. So yeah, she tried everybody. It just didn't work. Oh, that's where she's upset at first, pretending to be, and then she pulls the gun, and she's like, don't, she says he needs to get her into the hub system. And
where'd she get the gun?
What she wants, either way, I don't know. I mean, to be fair, did they check her at all when she came
Probably
in?
not.
Probably not. They didn't seem to be worried at all about her or what
or that she just kind of wandered in.
Yeah, they just let her wander in and didn't check anything, it seemed like. So yeah, I'm not surprised she was able to bring in a gun, but she does, and she's like, threatens to kill them. And we don't really see much, because I think here it switches. Yeah, it switches back to sec unit, who starts back up his conversation like mid-sentence.
Yeah.
But it wouldn't affect him. It's like he's been passed out for who knows how long. And she connected I don't know what the lubrication of the ship is, the gasoline, the oil, something in the ship. She connected from the hopper to him because she thought it might be compatible, and it was.
See, that reminds me of Companion 2, where they shut down Sophie Thatcher mid-sentence, and then she boots up like 20 minutes later and finishes it.
They pause when they go off. But Mensa figured out that he might be able to use the ship's lubrication, and he's okay now. And it's actually because she does this that he has the idea of what to do. So actually, if he hadn't have gotten hurt and hadn't needed lubrication or whatever went into him, oil, they call it lubrication, but I don't know exactly what it is. If she hadn't have done that, he may not have figured out how to get them back. And that's where he says that maybe his neural wiring can replace the hopper wiring. And she said, she's like, wasn't that like human tissue or whatever? And it's partially human tissue, but it is the best data transport that they have. And they use it in different transports, which I think is actually kind of interesting. This is where I'm not sure how much of them is human. And we talked before about like them giving them a human face and everything, and they have human DNA. I assumed that like more of their bodies, I guess, were human. I didn't expect him to be so much robot, but it's actually interesting because it's different than something like, say, Westworld, where they just have like human skin.
Well, it's like early Westworld. Like first generation robots in Westworld that are still metal under, like the one scene where like Dolores got her stomach kind of opened up and you could see all the inner workings, that kind of thing.
So he's got like real pieces embedded with robot pieces.
Yeah.
So he says that she needs to cut part of his spinal cord. But I mean, if you think about it though, like really a lot of those pieces are, not necessarily this, I don't know about the spinal cord, but like the brainstem and that, like, I mean, it is sort of transporting data even in people, just in a different way. I mean, not that has anything to do with it. I just think it's interesting if you think about it, because like it's, it's transporting signals to your brain. It's kind of the same thing as a wire for a computer. It's just where we are flesh and blood, and it is not. So she, anyway, he, whatever you want to call him, Sec Unit says that she has to take it out of him, and he turns off his pain sensor so she can do it. But she really does not want to slice him open, which I don't blame her. And she's all like skeeved out. And he's like, he knows humans are weak-willed, but he can help her. And then he starts quoting the show again. And he says, I don't know exactly what name he says, but something like, don't you want to save Jimmy? And she's like, what, Jimmy? He's like, what? Yeah. He's like, oh no, these other people that are with you, and he like lists them all, and everybody but Karathan, and she's like, well, Karathan too. He's like, yeah, okay. They still hate each other, which I love, but she does start cutting him open, even if it freaks her out. And this scene's pretty gross. They show her.
It was really long.
It was really long. Yeah, they show. Details of her cutting through his back and him telling her to go deeper and everything else. And then
but it was interesting for me. It was really long, and then they were like, "Oh, you have to cut through the second layer now." I'm like, "Oh,
yeah." For a show that's only 30 minutes, I feel like
like 15 of it was
that much
back surgery.
Yeah, I mean, it was funny, but yes, I agree. They went a little bit further than they had to. But I also think it's kind of funny that they went from her like pulling apart his back to her getting a massage on her back.
Yeah.
Like, they sort of juxtaposed it the same. But Rathy,
they got that like thruple massaging going on.
Yeah. And I think even Arata's kind of seems to be over the thruple to some extent, it seems like. But he sort of inserts himself into the massaging, and they're talking about Sec Unit, and he's saying that he isn't threatening, and he starts, well, as he thinks a robot talks, which like they said is not how he talks. So, but they realize Mensa's still not there, and they come out to see. And let's see, I think that was why the scene was doubled, because I think I went too far before, because we have to go back to her cutting him. So it must have been part of two scenes, and I didn't realize it, because there is more of that. And I love that.
You didn't want to take up close-up pictures of his back being cut off layer by layer?
I thought I did, but maybe I didn't, because I might have at the time said no because of YouTube. I don't want to get too gory, or YouTube might block it.
All you have to do is go through 2 layers and then just get a good piece of like nerve and just pull it and just keep pulling it, but don't pull it too short.
Yeah, sometimes I think I don't know if it's my images are out of order, or if I skip something. Like
sometimes I think they get out of order for some reason. I don't know why.
Yeah, I don't know, because the next part is them coming down and finding Labibi, but this is where the other part of it is. So she's cutting open his back, and I did want to leave this part in just because I think it's funny when she's like, I'm a vegetarian. He's like, you don't have to eat me, just cut me.
I was gonna say.
I love that. That's like one of my favorite lines, I think, of the episode. He's like, crack it open.
That was really bizarre.
It was very weird. And this part was like really gross, and like I don't mind stuff like that.
It's pretty good looking for a fact, though. It looks really good.
It is. But watching her using the pliers and trying to crack his spinal column was a little, like, the sound, and that was just a little.
Get a good grip on that.
Yeah, it was gross. But because he's like, just crack it open, and she's like, oh fuck no.
Yeah, I like that he's guiding her through it, like taking the scalpel, giving her the
and the thing is, the whole time she's like sort of humming like nervously and trying to stay to stay calm. But he tells her that she has to take out a strand of nerve fiber and to cut it out, and that's what they're going to connect to the ship. And then he makes a joke because he says, "Oh, you did good for your first time," or something like that. "Is this your first time?" And she's like, "You made a joke." I think it's really funny that he knew how to make a joke. I like that. But he's like, "Good times." So again, I'm not sure exactly if these pictures should have been beforehand, but this is whenever Pinley and Arata and Rathy come downstairs to find Libibi is there with the gun. And this is where she says something like that Garathan's been showing her. I just wrote down, I don't know exactly what she said. I have written down he was showing me crap. So I don't know what it was. I shortened it. But yeah, she's like, says that he's going to show her what she wants and get her logged into the system. And when he says he can't again, she shoots him in the leg. Were you surprised when she actually shot him? I didn't really think she would. I don't think he thought she would either, or he probably would have listened.
I guess I didn't think the thing would escalate this quickly.
Yeah, it did actually escalate really quickly.
I thought she was going to hang out for a couple more episodes, try to like stick her tongue down a couple other people's throats.
Yeah. Oh, I think she got sick and bored of the flirting way that wasn't working. Yeah. But I don't know. I was just surprised she shot him. She didn't give him very much. I mean, she gave him warning, but she didn't give him too much warning. And what she wants is for him to log her into the hub system to give her the survey analysis. So, and she says she'll kill somebody if he doesn't. So what she's after is the data that they found. But the thing that to me that I'm not, and I guess maybe I'm not sure if I'm not understanding it or they're not explaining it right, but the data on the dig, on the survey is what the information was missing on the map, right? So I don't know if she thinks that they filled some of that in or if they got close enough that like the computer updates it. I don't quite understand why she needs that, because it's my understanding that data is what's missing, but that's what she wants. And
maybe she's looking for something.
Yeah,
or was looking for something. She's not looking for anything anymore.
No, she is not. But it has something to do with the stuff. I can't remember. Did they say what they found? I'm trying to not to spoil in case it hasn't been revealed yet. I'm pretty sure it has, but I don't want to spoil what they found that was in the in that area where there was supposed to be where there was nothing listed when they had followed that alien. And Barks Watch says, like, she's like, whoever's paying you doesn't have your best interest. I can help you get sanctuary. And she's like, can you get me 1 million credits? And then she's like, that's not important. That's not what matters. She's like, yeah, well, I'm going to find out if that's important, right? And then one of them, I think Arata, I'm not sure which one. One of them says that asks if Labibi is really her real name, and says that it's a stupid name when she says yes. And the other person, which I think was Pinley, is like, no, it's not. So that one of the people agree that it's a pretty name either way. But she's like, and the Barks was like, do you even really want to have a baby? Like, she's still trying to believe the story, which I don't know why she's trying to believe any of it, but she is. She's like, no, I hate babies. And somebody, probably it was Rathy, said that Sec Unit would kick her ass. And this is where she tells him, no, he won't, because both him and Mensa are gone and dead. Well, I mean, I don't know that a robot can actually be dead, but she says dead, that they're both gone.
Blown up.
Yeah, blown up. And Garathan starts crying, which I get that he seems to be in love with Mensa, but that was a little, I don't know. Were you surprised he started crying? Like right there? They're kind of in a life or death situation. Like, I get he's upset, but like, that's not really good response to this, what's going on. Like, you need to keep it together and see the guy so you don't die, right?
Yeah, but if you get wounded, that kind of puts you on our level.
Well, that too. Yeah, he's been wounded. The woman he, I guess, loves he thinks is dead, and he's not happy about that. But I kind of almost feel like maybe that was a mistake for her to say to him, and not that it ends up mattering, but I feel like he would have been less help now because he was upset. So I'm not sure that was the smartest move.
Because if she killed his crush, Yeah.
Then he's like, I'm not going to help you. Why would I help you? But that's where Pinley says, oh, but it is a beautiful name. I love their expressions
Yeah.
in the show. I can go through the pictures a lot of times and tell exactly what what it was.
Yeah, yeah.
So sorry. So Sec Unit comes in and he's like, put down the gun. And I lost where was again. Shit. Sorry. I hate when I do that. Like I'm trying to find it and I lose it in the middle of it. So he comes in and he says, it comes in and says, put down the weapon. And she puts the gun to Garathan's head. And again, I'm not sure if that was the smartest move because Sec Unit, if he's going to care about any of them, it's not going to be Garathan. So like you should have put it to one of the other one's heads, but she did.
Shouldn't have had her head so high up. That's what I'm saying.
She shouldn't have had her head, and that's the other thing too. She shouldn't have. Yeah, Sec Unit just shoots her without giving her warning, and you can go frame by frame and watch this effect.
Lord,
she like literally goes from having a head to having explosion. Because I mean, things are funny when you watch them frame by frame. I don't want to leave it on. I don't want to leave it on too long because I don't know if YouTube will have a problem with that. But yeah, I love this scene because it is so awful, but it is so comical. And it was so unexpected when it happened. I mean, I'm assuming you didn't have any inkling that didn't think that was going to happen, did you?
I didn't think that was going to happen.
I remember just being like, oh my God, and then laughing though, because like I said, it's made to be really comical the way they did it. And right after he does it, they all start freaking out. They're like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Like they don't trust him now. And she's the most upset Barkswatch. And then she's still holding on to him for way too long, right? At least in the pictures it looks like it. But I love that expression on his face. I know you can't quite see the side of the picture, but the expression's great. But he took care of it. And then Garathan's like, you could have killed me. And yeah, and he's like, Sec Unit's like, well, yeah, there's a chance, but you're fine. So he doesn't quite get it still. And Barkswatch there's like, you killed her. And they're kind of all just really upset. And Garathan's happy, though, once he sees Mensa come in. But Rathi is puking. And so, yeah, it's and Mensa's just kind of like, what is going on? She doesn't get what happened. There's the headless person. Yeah, and she's just sort of like, what just happened? And he's like in his head, he's like, when serials when they shoot somebody, people cheer when they save the day. Yeah. They don't seem to be very relieved or grateful. The truth is he did do the right thing. I mean, okay, maybe he should have waited. Maybe he should have said, put down the gun or I'll shoot you. But she could have shot Garathan before he could have done anything. So I don't think he made the wrong choice. Like if it was a human, I'm saying like, I don't know that he made the wrong choice. I don't know he necessarily made the right choice, but I don't think he made the wrong choice.
Well, he got rid of the problem because she only become more of a nuisance. So, got rid of the problem.
But I mean, like if you think about it, if he was a person, like what would they have done? If he had tried to reason with her, she could have killed Garathan. So it wasn't necessarily wrong. I'm assuming that they'll probably hopefully get over it. But they do say, or Garathan says anyway, like, whenever I think Mensa asks who she is, or no, Pinley says who was she, and Garathan's like, or one of them's like, since she doesn't have a head, we can't find out, nor who her accomplices were. So they don't know what to do because now they can't, use her for information, which makes sense, but he wouldn't have thought of, And he's like, Sec Unit's like, we need to get out of here and make sure we're not here when they get here. That's what we need to do. And Mensa agrees with them, which was funny, but I think probably unexpected to them. She's actually pretty calm for somebody who normally has panic attacks. I love that she's like now the voice of reason, like, we just need to get out of here. And he's like, I want to repair my spinal column if that's okay with everybody. Because he still like has his, back split apart, blood going everywhere, which also like I find it interesting that he has a lot of blood. Like, I mean, I know they did in Westworld too, but like if they have robot fluid, I don't know that much is necessary. Like, why, it makes me wonder, just from like a aesthetic point of view, and not from like a set design, prop design, television show point of view, but like if it were a real thing. I kind of wonder what would be the point of putting any kind of blood inside them, like to bleed? Like, is it necessary? Because they're not human. So I don't know. What do you think about that? I just think it's kind of strange. I mean, like they said, they do it in Westworld too. So it's not like they don't do it on other shows. I'm just curious, like kind of what the reason is.
Westworld, they do it because it's an amusement park and they want real.
Well, that's true. They want to see them bleed. That's true.
Yeah, they want the violence.
Right. But like for him, like, wouldn't it have made more sense just to have it be completely robotic inside? Unless I don't know. Maybe the human tissue serves a purpose. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know enough about those particular type of units to know if they're, used for anything else, or there'd be a reason for that.
Yeah, I don't know. It just makes me wonder. I don't know. I just find it kind of interesting. And you know what? If it was real life and there were really there are some realistic looking robots, not that they're that realistic, but let's say there are realistic looking robots and they wouldn't take the time to put blood in them. It may also be that from a storytelling point of view, they do it because they want, like, as a viewer, maybe you to feel like they're more human, I guess. That's the only thing I could come up with. And I don't know. It doesn't matter. I just personally am kind of curious why you would do that.
Yeah. But, I guess I could cite the movie Companion again, because Sophie Thatcher gets her arm burnt, but it's just like metal underneath. So those types of robots don't have any kind of liquid in them whatsoever.
Yeah. Yeah, so it kind of depends on the robot. I just find it interesting, especially if he's supposed to be security. But like I said before, same thing with them having faces. I do think there's a possibility that all the robots are made together and then they just choose what they do after. So it may be that maybe some robots, they want to be more human, and that's why there's blood. I mean, who knows? Maybe they have a Westworld park here. We really don't know. Or, that type of thing where people like to cut them open. We don't know. I don't want to know. Yes, I don't want to know that. But they are going to go get it ready. And other than they stare at the blood, I'm not sure what is with the way the blood's going to line through. It's kind of weird. The blood's blood.
Yeah. I thought there was some kind of message, so I looked at that for a while.
No, it's just
a very Dexter kind of thing, I guess.
It is. It looks like there was like a slice through it or something. But
yeah.
So yeah, he goes back to his soap opera clearly. The people in the show, the robot's talking about commands, and he's saying that we have commands from the inside and commands from the outside. That commands from the inside are feelings, and that's how you follow these commands. That's our story, and that's obviously just the soap opera funny part of it to connect to him, because he says, as he's getting fixed in his Ken doll state, he says that the Preservation Auxiliary or Aux team, whatever he calls them, I have Aux, I think he just says Aux team, feelings are starting. They thought they were starting to know me, like they have feelings, and thought they were making connections with me, and that I was becoming like them. But then I exploded Lily B's head, and that felt good. So yeah, I think that this episode, and she's off crying, and one of the people, I forget who, comforts her. I don't think I have another. Maybe I do. Yeah, I do. There, it was Errata. It was comforting her.
By the way, in the chat, we're going to get to the chat. Somebody said we weren't reading the chat. I am reading the chat, but we'll get to the chat after. We're almost done.
Yeah. No, but I'm just wondering, because my chat has not. Oh God, we got a lot of chat. Okay, guys,
yeah,
I don't know why. I don't know why, but StreamYard has not put anything since Kelly said hi. So that's why.
Really? Oh, mine has a whole bunch of chat going on.
No, I don't know, and I mean, I can refresh it. It shouldn't knock you out if I refresh it. Let me refresh it, because that's like really annoying. Hold on, guys. I'll be right back.
I'm here. Maybe I'm not here. Maybe I'm somewhere else. Maybe I'm on the sanctuary moon.
There we go. Let's see if that helps. That did. I apologize, guys. I wasn't ignoring. I mean, I was ignoring you, but not intentionally. Now I see there's a whole bunch of comments. So I'm glad that you said that, because I honestly hadn't seen it. Okay, let's go. Wow, there's a lot of comments. Okay. Let's see. We started here. Muncher,
That's what I was
Luncher.
thinking.
Hi,
I was
Muncher,
thinking
Luncher.
about taking a break and doing the chat, but then I thought, okay, we're close done with the recap.
No,
We can just
I would have
focus
done
on
this
the
with
chat.
long. I'm really sorry. So yeah, next time just like yell at me because I don't always remember to look over at YouTube because it should be in StreamYard. I'll tell you though, StreamYard has been really weird. When I was doing this show yesterday with Lori, I thought it was my internet, but it wasn't. We were already done. We had just disconnected, but we were talking after, and like I just got kicked out, like completely kicked out of StreamYard, and I don't even never found out what happened. I had to like figure out how to get back in to make sure it had left the studio. Okay, so sorry.
I do notice you, Muncher Launcher.
Yeah, I'm getting through the.
My song was for you.
Now, I will try to put up pictures that represent what we're talking about here. Yeah. All right. So Justin said that Lee BB
start from the top and go down.
Yeah, is the most sympathetic anti-heroine in TV ever. Is she really? I don't know that I had sympathy for her. Did you?
Justin has the Lee BB fan club.
Yeah, are you the Lee BB? I did at the beginning, but at a certain point, I wasn't upset when he shot her. I guess I did feel a little bit bad if the stuff she said was true, but I questioned how much of what she said was even true because she said she hated kids, and I don't even think that I don't think that she was even like she wasn't part of Doubtfall, so she probably wasn't an indentured servant either. Yes, you're right. I can't multitask. I did say that earlier.
You know what? I thought she was the actress that played a girl in Search Party, but then I searched it, Search Party, and it wasn't her. But she was the woman that did the show Pen 15 or Penis. Do you ever see that?
No, I've heard of it.
I think it's Pen is.
Yeah, Anna Konkle is the actress name.
I didn't know if anybody had seen that show.
I've heard of it, but I haven't seen it. I've seen clips of it. Like I've seen when it was on, like they were having ads on, but I haven't seen it. Let's see. So also says navigation unit is sad too. She reminds me of Diane from BoJack. I'm assuming that's that
BoJack Horseman.
Yeah, I think I've seen like one episode of that, but not.
That's one more episode than I've seen.
Yeah, it was a long time ago, so not.
Well,
really,
plus I had Netflix for a while, then I didn't have it, so.
Yeah. It was. Well, I think it wasn't it on FX originally? I don't even know.
Oh, I thought it was on Netflix, so maybe I'm wrong.
I don't know. It's been a while. Like I said, I didn't read it or watch it, so I don't know. Hi, Someway, welcome. Sorry that I didn't get to you till now. I honestly did not mean to ignore you guys. Doc, hi Kimberly, hi everybody. Again,
yeah.
Hi. So I'm sorry you all got ignored for so long. It wasn't intentionally.
I thought you were just making a choice to do the recap first.
No, it wasn't. I mean, sometimes we do, but no, for this, because it's a short one, I would have gladly stopped. I've read the Murderbot Chronicles. Is this a decent interpretation of the books and characters? Well, some way, if you're still there, which I hope, I don't know. You still haven't started it, huh?
I listened to the first part of All Systems Red. It starts right at that centipede attack. It like starts you right in.
Oh, the book that's interesting.
Yeah, you're just right in the action. You're right in the whole action of them getting attacked and him saving the one woman and and that.
Does it seem?
As far as I know, most of the characters retain their names.
Does it seem similar though, or does it seem like they changed a lot other than?
Well, I feel like I got the impression from the first part because it's an audiobook. I'd rather just read the book because I'm a faster reader, but the audiobook is that
I know. Isn't
he
that funny?
Already
get audiobooks to save time. I'm the same way. I can't.
Yeah.
Sorry. Go ahead.
I got the impression that he was kind of knew that he could assassinate people and enjoy it. Without calling himself Murderbot right away, it was just more like kind of like, yeah, But I mean, when he's like, he's doing a lot with the shows. He's trying to upload shows while he's like, doing this attack and stuff because he really, he's really entertainment focused.
Oh, so the attacks at the beginning too?
Yeah, it starts right there.
Oh, you mean okay, never mind. I thought you meant
He's right in the middle of
that
like
unit
uploading
attacks
some
people.
shows, and then this attack's going on, and
Right,
he's like,
that
"Oh,
okay.
now I
I
gotta
misunderstood
stop
what you
that
were
so I
saying.
can help these people out." It just starts
Okay.
right there. It doesn't start with the whole like how the show started.
I see. But it sounds like that it's sort of similar though. It doesn't sound like it's way off base,
Yeah,
even
the
if they
scene where they're being attacked by the cat, like the millipede,
yeah.
monster, is it's very similar.
Yeah, I still want to read it. I want to read a lot of things and watch a lot of things that I talk about, and I'm just so far behind in what I have to finish.
Yeah.
I haven't had time, but I'm glad you at least started it. I am curious
I think
how
there's more when I look at some of the things online too. There's 3 hours, and I'm like, if it's a novella, it should be 3 hours long to read. So
yeah, yeah.
they
Some
might
ways
be
it's
combining books together.
reading. They might be. I don't know, but that's what you were starting to say. What I was saying is I'm not like an audiobook person. I can usually read a book faster than I can listen to audio. So I
Hmm.
usually would just read it, but I haven't even looked for it. I
Yeah,
need to do that. I
but
keep
the
intending.
one I got for the library is more like an adventure, like a radio play thing. So I'm assuming it has sound effects and stuff, and I haven't I haven't uploaded it yet for the library, but
Yeah, well,
that might be more exciting than somebody just reading it.
yeah, yeah, it could be when they add those things. Um, I'm not sure. Oh, at work. Okay, I was gonna say doc. I'm like, wait, what? I missed something there. That was about work, I guess, not about the book. You confused me a little bit there. Um, so
See, when
just
some
in
and not like oh,
sorry, go ahead. No, go
I was
ahead.
at one above that when he said well, some way. I don't know if you're male or female. I'm just saying some way says it's light and breezy reading and surprisingly fun, and that's what I've heard across the board from like every like thing that I see that critiques the Murderbot diaries. They're like, it's light and breezy and a good time.
Yeah, it sounds like it'll be good, and I'm glad it's short
A
because that does
summer
mean eventually
read.
I'll have
You can
time to read it.
read it on the beach.
Yeah, to have to try it. And then,
Yeah.
sorry, I didn't. I was gonna say if Doc's talking about his own private stuff, I don't want to put it on the screen. I didn't mean to. Who is more
Okay.
sympathetic, Lee B or Whoa, what is that? Is that something from the book, or is that a typo? Navarian? I'm
Oh, I
not
thought
sure
that
what that
was the
is.
one from the. I thought that was the one from the show, the Sanctuary Moon show.
Oh, the one that's on the picture. Okay, I didn't know what
I
her
think
name was.
so.
Okay.
I'm not 100%
Um,
if that's what that is.
Yeah, no, I thought maybe at first he was talking about Navarro's from Dead City and like put it in there. I didn't know. But yeah, I don't know that she's necessarily that character is necessarily sympathetic just because we don't really know anything about her other than he likes her. That's about all we know. So yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess at the like I said, I guess at the beginning I found Lady BB sympathetic, but like once I knew all of it was lies, I didn't really, feel bad for her anymore.
Yeah.
I did all up, so it kind of changed it. Somebody also says there's a lot of internal monologue in the book and some convincing AI relations, friendships, and conflicts. That's interesting. I would like to see more of the like the android side of it that we're not really getting. I mean, I don't know for
Well,
a TV show if we need it. Like I get if they cut it out, but that could be
mhm.
interesting. So
Well,
yeah, it sounds like
somebody hasn't seen the whole series. I would say there is a lot of narrative, like a lot of internal monologue in the sec unit.
yeah.
I don't know yet. I haven't heard enough of the audiobook to know if the diaries mean other people will be talking in their narrative voice, kind of like Dracula with the different letters and stuff. I don't think it will be. I think it
Yeah,
mainly be Murderbot telling the story, but it could. It's
from
not the
like other
wrong
points
reason.
of view. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
it's
I
not the
don't
wrong
know.
reason.
Yeah, I guess we won't know until we read some of it.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, let's see. Kimberly says I assume he is probably Garathan. I made a comment earlier asking her for more information, but the other lady kind of detoured him in his questions. I think he was starting to get suspicious about Labibi. Yeah, I had said earlier, I do think that he was purposely not showing her the information that she needed. He seemed to I mean, Garathan seems to be smarter than them. They're not all very smart. They don't seem to be. I mean, yeah, they aren't super smart necessarily.
Like don't go out there and kill yourself. No, don't go out there and do that again.
Yeah,
make good choices.
Exactly. Make better choices. Yeah. Some way says this is explaining, I guess, the androids in the books are cybernetic organisms, lab grown tissue, and combat grade mechanical components and chassis. Think Terminator with actual muscles and some organs. That's interesting. I guess my question is again, like, I'm just wondering why. Like, what would be the benefit of putting human organs, because human organs would not be like as strong as using metal things.
In Westworld, they said it was cheaper.
Oh, well, maybe.
I mean, cheaper
is always an answer for big companies, right? That's always an answer. Whatever's the cheapest. Definitely could. Sounds like the methodologies of engineers in the Alien universe. Their ships are also biomechanical with organic parts. That's a good point. I hadn't thought about Alien. Yeah.
Oh yeah, the H.R. Giger kind of painting.
Is it H.G. Geiger or H.R. Geiger? H.R. I think you're right.
H.R. Geiger. H.R. Geiger. H.R. Geiger. You know what I'm talking about.
Geiger. His name is Geiger. We know what we're talking about.
Yeah, I saw a documentary on him. It was pretty fascinating.
Yeah, his art's really cool.
Yeah,
I've seen different art from him. Other than Alien, I've seen different art. In a later book, he has to, assuming Seking is, to physically alter his height, hair color, and style and generate random natural human movements like blinking and fidgeting to avoid immediate identification by sec units. I hope they keep that in. That sounds like fun.
Yeah. It also sounds like Companion. Did you see the movie Companion?
Huh?
Did you see the movie Companion?
No, that's what I said. I still haven't seen it. I keep intending to because I wanted to see it because of Sophie, but no, I have not yet. But I will because I do want to see it. That's what network is that? Remind me. You said, but I forget. Is that Netflix?
I don't know what network it was on. It was a A24 film. I'm assuming it was in theaters, and now it's on HBO.
No, it is somewhere. Oh, yes, I think it was Max. I remember seeing that it popped up on one of the things because I did want to see it. It does look really good, so I will eventually see that.
I mean, I got excited that they had a lot of A24 films on like the free weekend.
Yeah, some of all types. That's pretty good. Some of it's
because they do a lot more than horror films. They do a lot. I was
going to say, but a lot of it's horror. I'm not usually a horror person, so you probably like.
Yeah, they're known for that, but they do a lot of different genres.
Yeah, they do different things. I know I've covered some of them, but like offhand, I don't remember what company necessarily.
But in the movie, they could change the eye color with like a little iPad or something, and like on their phone.
That would be so cool. Like I'm thinking probably
or the language they could change the language.
Yeah, I saw the clip where she was taught. I think it was a clip on Instagram where she's speaking in another language because she can't lie in English.
She's talking in German, it's smart. It's a real smart film because she's doing that to cover it up so the person can't hear what she's saying because she can only tell the truth.
That's interesting. Yeah. But just to relate to this though, probably in the future there'll be contacts that you can do that with and like change your eye color. That would be so cool. Sorry. I'm just thinking that would be neat. Yeah. But anyway, I was saying I think that the random like having to blink and stuff to fit in, like I can envision that scene and it would be so funny, like him trying to be like, being normal and not being very good at it. I could see that. That would be really, really funny. I'd like to see that. So, whoa, what the? Sorry, I'm still checking the stats and like it keeps going like up and down. We keep like getting like twice as many people than half as many people. Something is really weird with StreamYard right now. But that's StreamYard for you. That's totally StreamYard.
Our watching audience is very mercurial.
Well, hey, at least I didn't get kicked out this time, if nothing else. And then Kimberly had said that he could be crying out of a fear response when Grathan was crying. Yes, I think so. He could have been. I think it was supposed to be more for Mensa, but it definitely would make sense if it was because he was in shock.
It could be all those things together. Fear, getting wounded.
Yeah, it could be all. I laughed because someone says Pop goes the weasel. And was kind of like that.
It was fun.
And it is really funny too, watching it like scene by or frame by frame. But
Yeah,
like,
it's
if
like,
you have a way to watch it because I mean it's a special effect, so it's really not real. So you don't see like the evolution. I just found it funny when I was doing the screen captures because it goes from her being a normal human head to splat like in one frame. It's just really funny to me.
You can see all the fine detail when you still it.
You can. It's just there's no. I guess my point is there's no actual explode. Like there's no as it happened. It's just like one frame. It's one way, and the rest.
Yeah,
which is normal.
Well, it's probably like you know, kind of like a sensitive issue. You know what I mean? Like you can only have so much violence
television.
before you have to get like another rating or something.
Right. No, I know. I just thought it was
And if it's
funny.
quick like that, then you can get away with more.
Yeah, definitely. And that's why we have to be careful on YouTube. Doc liked that scene. So yeah, that was my favorite scene. I think definitely one of my favorites in the episode, maybe all of it, just because, like I said, it was so shocking and I found it funny too. In a weird way.
You thought she was going to last a little longer.
Yeah, I did. Okay, Kelly did say yes. She was a little trigger happy. Sec unit didn't know that, but still, yeah. I said I don't necessarily think he was wrong. I think that he made a calculated move, and maybe it wasn't the smartest because they could have gotten information out of her, but he also could have killed Garathan before that happened. So yeah, I don't blame him. Sorry, I'm reading and saying that at the same time. I'm not sure. Was that in relation to a person? I think they're saying it to somebody. You get to hear his thought process and what scared impulsive humans tend to do. Yeah, they tend to do stupid things. That's for sure.
Yeah, it's about the same in the show.
Yeah. Okay, notice me. This must be when we started listening. Yes, we're okay. Sorry. And Video Maker said, I feel like when he says, and I liked it, it means liking protecting his people. That's an interesting take on that. I mean, I definitely thought he meant killing somebody, but I don't know. How did you take it? Did you take it killing somebody? Or did you, because I like that interpretation though.
Oh, I thought it was like being a Murderbot.
Yeah, I assumed
like he was getting a taste. He's getting a sweet taste for murder, for the murder.
Yeah, that's definitely what I thought. But I like that interpretation though, because maybe he did. I mean, we don't really know, and I don't want to say it was not a character because he protected them, but yeah, maybe
it could be both.
Yeah. It's interesting.
I mean, he could have enjoyed it. He's like, I love just killing for my people.
Yeah.
For my peeps.
Call HR. I saw they were talking to the person, but I didn't see. Okay. Huh? What did you say? Oh, I thought you said something.
I said call HR Giger.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, maybe. People using him pronouns after the show began kind of sad. The book makes a point. Yeah, actually, the reason why I put this up is because I did want to mention that, because I was actually told about that, and I know I keep doing that on the show, and I apologize if that irritates people. I think it's because of Alexander Skarsgård. I say he. Well, I think they say he in the show too, and I think it's because they're humanizing him.
Another thing is that when the audiobook came out, it was read by a real famous German actor. So people associate it with him because they associate it with the German actor that was reading the book.
Oh, okay. Does it?
And probably also this actor.
Does Murderbot though, or Sec Unit look male though in the book, or do they not tell you?
I haven't gotten that far yet. I just got through an action scene that hasn't really gotten that much in depth.
I see. But no, I brought this up because I know that I do say he. They say he in the show. I'm guessing because they're humanizing him. But yeah, I actually changed an article because I was told that, and I keep saying he on the show, and I probably shouldn't. I know that it is a gender Murderbot. So, but I will probably continue to say he without meaning to. Apologies for that. But yeah, really,
Yeah, but sometimes you
is
don't want to call a character it.
it does seem weird calling a character
Yeah.
character it. And yeah, like I said, I think the characters call him it a he because
Hmm.
they're humanizing it.
Hmm.
But I think
Yeah.
people, as when like us, when we're talking about it, at least in my opinion, I think I call it a he
Hmm.
because I'm seeing Alexander Skarsgård and doing it automatically. So yeah,
Hmm.
if I say he, it's not intentional. I do really realize that. I just do it without thinking about it.
Yeah,
So
but
yeah,
like in Westworld, they did the opposite way. They made people say it to dehumanize them.
yeah, that
You
makes
know, like
sense.
Sir Anthony Hopkins, he's like Dolores is like an it. She's not a she. You know,
Yeah,
to
yeah,
make them not think they feel anything. You know,
yeah,
like when they're naked and stuff, and when some like one of the doctors tried to cover them up. You know, oh, you don't have to cover them up.
yeah.
You
You
know, kind of a thing.
don't do that.
Yeah.
I see that I think I mentioned Discord earlier, but I did not pin it, and I should have, as I saw Kimberly mentioned it, and thank you, Kimberly. I forget to do that. I appreciate that. Yeah, to reiterate what Kimberly's saying, yes, we have watch parties before the episode to kind of reacquaint ourselves with the episode before we do the live stream, or if people haven't seen it. So if you join Discord, you can join our watch parties and also get our schedule for all of our watch parties and live streams. Now that I'm doing live streams 5 days a week because I'm insane.
Yeah, I
But
did it too. And I don't really want
yeah, I
to.
know. Yeah,
A lot.
it's hard because I like didn't intend to, and I know then Lori was like about revival, and I'm like, yeah, I like that show. Let's talk about, like, I felt like
Mm.
talking about it, and then I'm like, why did I agree to do this? I love the show, but shit.
Mhm.
Why did I agree to this?
Yeah.
No. Yeah. Well, as long as I can do it, not take too long, it's good. Graffin is a dick and yet becomes friends with Murderbot. I hope that that's the case on the show. I would like to see that. That would be funny. Let's see. Okay. Video maker adds the human tissue allows for proper situational awareness and adaptiveness that a bot can't be programmed for. That is interesting. See, this is why we need to read the book. Yeah, I never thought about that. It probably lets them experience things in a more human way, maybe too.
Well, yeah. When he was doing the rescue, and he went from robot face to human face, it was to be more empathetic.
Right. I
Yeah.
mean, like internal tissue. I'm assuming that means, but yes,
Oh,
it's
internal
more
tissue.
empathetic. Yeah, I don't know.
Do I cut myself? Do I not bleed? Am I
Well,
just
no,
not
the
like
only
you?
thing I'm thinking is it could make them. I mean, he has pain sensors, right? Like pain sensors are an odd thing for an android to have, but maybe them having, like, if they were
Hmm.
all robot, they probably wouldn't have pain. I mean, I guess they could have pain sensors, but maybe they wouldn't. And maybe it
Well, maybe
is
they
to
want
make
to do
them
that so it doesn't get like Terminator awareness and go Skynet on all the people.
that too. But maybe it makes them able to be more empathetic. I don't know. Munch Your Lunch would have
Perhaps.
red eyes. Interesting. I would have purple eyes, I think. I know they make purple contacts, but they're kind of weird. But I still think I'd have purple eyes.
I think I'd have the same eyes that I have right now.
Video Maker says they sell contact lenses that change your eye color right now, but they might be disposable. You can get ones that are multiple colors.
Oh yeah, you
Or
can
do
get
you
all
just
sorts of weird
need?
ones. You can
I'm
get
not
like
sure.
werewolf or vampire like looking ones, or ones with patterns in them, and
Yeah, but you can't change them. Maybe I'm not sure with Video Maker.
well, they
Can
change
change
your eye color
eye.
because they have a color over them that you put over your eye, and
Right,
it changes
right.
your eye color.
Okay. Yes. No, I know they have that. When I said about
Yeah.
changing eye color, I meant like that has an app you can change them on. When I said change, I meant change like when you want.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I know they have colored contacts. You know, speaking of, people seem to talk about they want off-topic things. I'll tell an I don't know if it's interesting story, but an off-topic story about contacts. I get contacts now that are the colors they come that are disposable. At one point in time, they had colored contacts at the place I was getting them. Now I can't get them because my eyesight is like really bad and they don't make it in my strength. Long story short, but the doctor that I had, he decided that he was going to dye contacts, and he would do this, and he died. He was like learning how to do it or whatever. I can't remember, but I know he was the one who did it. But he gave it to me, and like I ended up with an eye infection because of that. So I did not get colored contacts after that. I don't think he knew what he was doing. Although that doctor is no longer with us, so I don't know. But yeah, because the problem is when you usually get ones that are like colored, that are like prescription colored, usually the whole lens is colored. That's the issue. And like you see when it's blue, I guess you don't notice it because most of them are like tinted a little bit to find them. And I had never like realized that mine were tinted blue, but when I tried to get green, like everything was green. So that was why I was like, no, I don't want this. And then he was like, well, I can tint them. And because they can do it with like the hole in the center. But anyway, I got an eye infection. It wasn't nice. So I didn't do it anymore. Not that anybody needed to know that, but Subway, he starts to identify as being, no, sorry, I don't know. I just was thinking about because they said it. But yes, you can get them to change. But I think I would want purple. But yes, I've seen cat eyes and all kinds of weird things. I know my cousin had
like Elizabeth Taylor eyes.
Yeah, no, my
violet
cousin
eyes.
had, I can't remember what color he had. He had like some kind of weird, it might have been cat eyes. He had something like that. He had funky contacts when he came over. And I was like, those are so cool, but I don't know that I would want to do it. I'd be afraid. But also, like I said, my prescription's so high, I really couldn't at this point do something like that.
I don't like putting things in my eye. So
it took a long time to be able to do that. I got contacts when I was in fifth grade, sixth grade. I don't know. They said for me to try contacts because they thought it might slow my eye progression, which it seemed to, I guess. But
because I only need glasses when I'm driving or seeing long distance away.
Yeah, see, I need them all the time.
Yeah,
but
I don't need. I need to jam something in my eyeball.
Well, no, it's not fun. But I'm just saying that and laughing because I had to have my aunt. She came over every morning before I went to school and helped me get them in when I first got contacts. Because I could not get those damn things in my eyes. But to be fair, as a, what is that, first, like 10? Is that fifth grade? I don't know. I'm trying to add it in my
10.
head. Yeah, 10-year-old is not used to putting contacts in it. So it's not abnormal. I didn't know how to do it, but I had a really hard time.
That's pretty young for contacts.
Scratch that on pink eyes to compliment Jamie's purple.
Pink eye.
Yeah, no, yeah, you don't want that. But yeah, at any rate,
Speaking of children,
if I could get color right now, I would definitely not. Don't ever let somebody dye them for you, even if they seem to know what they're doing. I would say don't do that. It was bad. I don't want to describe it. It wasn't fun.
Get something that's FDA approved, everyone.
Yeah, no, I mean, look, he knew what he was doing, but I think it's just not real safe. I wouldn't do it. I mean, when you get them made like that, it's fine. But like I said, I can't get mine pre-made. I have a hard time even ordering contacts because my prescription's like, I think -8 and -9, something like that. It's really, really high. So I'm at the point I can't even get quarter step lenses. Like I'm in between. So they're like either too strong or too weak because they just don't make them in between anymore. That's how bad my eyes are. But, I've thought of getting LASIK, but they said I'd still need contacts anyway. So it's kind of like, what's the point? If you're still gonna, I mean, yeah, you can sort of see when you don't have contacts in, but if you still gotta wear them, it's kind of a waste of money, in my opinion. So yeah, bad eyes. He starts to identify as being part of the family, so protecting its members voluntarily is satisfying as is being appreciated. Yes, they are male in form. Yes. All right. Interesting.
I'll report back once I hear like pronouns in the book.
Yeah. Well, Video Maker saying they refer to it as it. When it gets discussed, they prefer they. Okay, now I'm getting confused. Sounds like I'm getting.
So in the world, the sucking is a it by people, but the sucking themselves would refer to them as they.
Okay. Well,
I think that's what that means.
Yes, and I thought maybe they meant in the book it was an it, and in the show it is a they in the show, though. I think they usually, a he in the show. So yeah, I'm not sure. Pain sensors are for damage assessment and can be dialed down as needed. The SEC units have brains with technology integrated. That's interesting. That makes sense. It also could, yes, it could tell if they're damaged, but also maybe it could help them to know if like threat assessment too, like is this safe for these humans to do, like if it hurts them, probably they can be like, don't do this, don't come this way. And it's interesting, but having brains with technology integrated, so if they have human brains, that means he's more like Garathan than I thought. I kind of assumed, I hadn't really thought about it, I assumed that part was not human. So that's really interesting. That makes him more like Garathan. I do think they could be interesting friends. Semi-rigid contacts suck. Yes, I have soft contacts, but that also means that they absorb everything. Oh my God, somehow I flipped soap into my eye in the shower yesterday. That was not fun. I had to get out of the shower, in the middle shower, and clean my contacts because I couldn't see. So yes.
Have you fallen asleep in them?
Yes, that's really bad too. They get nasty.
Because they kind of drift.
Well, mine don't drift. Mine get all dry if I fall asleep in them, and then I can't see. But semi-rigid, at least when they're rigid, they don't absorb stuff. If they're soft, they absorb everything. And like if you get caught like chlorine water on them, it's really bad, because I do wear them in the pool because I can't see if I don't. But I had to stop and clean them, and that was not fun. I don't know. See, a lot of people get dry eyes that have bad allergies. I've always been fine with contacts, because when I don't wear contacts and I have bad allergies, my eyes water so bad. Like especially when I was younger and I'd get bad allergies at school, I'd have like tears coming down, not tears, but like allergy, my eyes watering that bad, like all the time when I had a really bad allergy. And wearing contacts actually helped that, because it like keeps the moisture in, but therefore I don't get dry eyes like a lot of people do. Like I do sometimes, and I do if I fall asleep in them, but in general, my eyes are okay. Not that people necessarily care about my eyes, but I'm just saying. Yeah. Do they have trifocal contacts? I think at one point I had tried bifocal ones, but didn't need them. I know I have astigmatism contacts. Okay. In the book, when humans finally ask, he says he's not actually a male, so they is more accurate. Interesting. It's hard to know what you're supposed to call him, though.
Yeah, but see, the day would give the suck unit more humanity than calling the suck unit it.
I agree. I think they is more accurate. I'm just saying, I know that promotionally you're supposed to say it, because I was told that, and I changed my article after, because I did not realize that until I was told that. So apparently you're supposed to say it, but like I said, the characters say he. I'm pretty sure that they do, because I know we talked about this on Fandom Access. We had mentioned it, that the characters in the TV show said he. Yeah. Oh. Yeah. I don't know. I could never use. I don't know if you mean to get them in and out. I couldn't use the shuck and cup thingies. That's why I had my aunt do it. She came and stuck them in my eye. That wasn't fun either. So let's see. What else? What else, guys? I think we got through all the chat finally. Do you have any more comments?
Yeah, thanks for the chat being so active tonight.
Yes, thank you.
Really appreciate it.
And again, sorry that it took so long to get to it. Not intentional.
I thought it was intentional.
No, it was not intentional, because that's why I was like, why did you tell me? No, I know you don't know it. It's just I have no reason usually to look at YouTube. I'm glad that I do. I sometimes I have it up and I sometimes look at it, but I was busy doing the pictures and the recap, so I didn't. And it's a few books in when the pronoun issue is discussed. That's interesting though, if you think about it, because it makes it more relevant to like real world stuff, I guess. I mean, I don't know if they're going to talk about it on the show, but like I mean, pronouns are obviously a relevant issue. So him being aware of that is kind of,
or they,
whatever. Yeah.
Now
I don't know what to call. Now I don't know what to call sec unit. I'm going to try to just say sec unit, and then I'm covered. But
I mean, that's the easy way of doing it.
Yeah, that is. It's hard to not. That's why I said, like, I'm automatically seeing the actor as I say as I talk about it. So it's hard not. But yeah,
and like they said, there was like a famous German actor that was doing the audiobook, so people would say he as well because of that.
Yeah, even though they hadn't revealed in the book at that point. Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. Well, I'm curious if they'll put that in the show. I would say probably. I would be surprised if
Yeah, I
I
mean
mean,
they
if they
followed the
haven't ever
action
seen it, I
sequence
would
about
assume.
that. They followed the action sequence with the, centipede, the giant centipede, like pretty
Mhm.
closely. So I don't think they're gonna just go totally crazy and,
No, I
you
doubt it.
know.
But I just mean that seems like something that they will likely put in, I would think.
Yeah,
So that's
yeah.
interesting. We'll have to wait and see when that happens. Um, they don't. Do they have a preview on Apple? I don't watch it. I haven't watched it on Apple, so I'm not
Mm-mm.
entirely
I
sure.
don't have Apple. I'm watching it a different way, so I don't get
Okay.
any preview. I don't know. I'm trying to think if Severance had I don't know.
Severance had, I think Severance had previews, didn't it? It
Hmm.
definitely had behind the scenes things.
Yeah.
I generally don't watch it on Apple because I've already seen them. So
Yeah.
have never. Actually, though, I have not seen the finale. I hadn't seen the finale because I was like rushing to get it finished at the time. I ran out of
Yeah.
time and went to bed or something that day, and I didn't get to see quite all the finale. So I've held off because I think I ought to wait till we get a little closer before I watch it. But yeah,
Hmm.
usually I don't watch it on network just for that reason because I don't have a reason to. But um, yeah, I'm just curious like what they show because this is only episode 6. I don't know why this episode felt like I guess because like it was big, I guess like action wise, it felt like maybe it was further in the season, but it's not. So
Mm-hmm.
we'll have to pick up on that. I didn't see a preview. Just finished it on Apple a hours ago. Well, thank you, Kelly. I That's why I said I
Okay.
wasn't sure. I know it
Hmm.
really depends. Um, what? Oh, never mind. I was thinking of something that was getting mixed up by what's coming out. I will tell you, I get so mixed up anymore what day shows come out because I
Hmm.
have the day we do this and the day of the show for all the shows. So it's like double
Hmm.
when I get so confused. Um, that's a good point. Some way they have a polyamorous and multisexual family unit. Seems like the pronouns will have to be prevalent. Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah.
I definitely think that it's something they'll put in. And like I said, it's very relevant and timely, and I think it makes sense that they will put it in. Will it be this season? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah. But I do
I'm
like the show.
assuming each novella is going to be a season.
Yeah, probably. I do hope it gets renewed. I don't think they've actually said anything one way or another. I know
Mm.
people have asked, but I don't think they've actually specified. I know they definitely have the material.
Yeah. It seems to
For
be
it.
generally well received.
Yeah. Excuse me. Yeah, it does seem to be generally well received. And I have the last interview for this, I should have going up. I'm hoping, fingers crossed, tomorrow. I just put up another Better Sister interview. I am starting to feel like maybe I should not have tried to learn the video program I did because it seems sometimes like it was more trouble than it's worth. Once I
Mm.
started it, I thought I'm going to be able to do things faster, but it took so long to figure things out that I'm like finding new things and I'm like, oh shit, this caused an issue, and then I didn't get back to that. But yeah, that should be up tomorrow. I just put up the Better Sister, and the last Librarians one is on YouTube. But I still have one more Murderbot to put up, and the rest of Revival and Resident Alien. And I feel like there's something else I'm missing that I'm thinking that like is not computing. Um, no, maybe that was it. I think that was it. Yeah, there's just one more Murderbot one that's got to go up. That's with the ones who play Errata and Pinley that has to
Hmm.
go up. That, and I have Hell Motel that I'm gonna put up, which is a horror thing. You might like that. That's on Shutter coming up.
Oh yeah.
Actually, it might have came out today. I'm not sure, but yeah, that's another horror show. Yes, I have seen Almost Human. Have you seen Almost Human?
I thought I had seen Almost Human, but then I got it mixed up with Altered Carbon because I thought it was Altered
Oh,
Carbon.
Altered
I
Carbon's
have
good
seen
though.
Altered Carbon, but I have not seen Almost Human.
I have seen Almost Human, and now that you said that, I'm like thinking I better make sure that's the one I think it is. I'm pretty sure that yes, that's what I thought. Almost Human is the one that I usually tell my complaint story about when somebody
Oh.
mentions that. I don't know if you guys have heard that or not on this
Hmm.
live stream. I will always have annoyed feelings at that show because of what I did, because of my bad choices. Okay,
No.
so long story short, if people who know me will understand why I was so upset, but long story short, I had seen Almost Human, I don't know, a month in advance, because I'd seen the screeners, because we were going to be doing, this was when they did conference calls as opposed to, like individual interviews. It didn't, or at least that's the part that I was in. There was more conference calls before they did video interviews. And there had been going to be a call with, I think, pretty sure I talked to both of them, but specifically with Carl Urban was the point. And so I had seen it early, and I went to Fan Expo in Toronto, and I had enough money for one more photo. And some of you probably have heard the story, so just ignore me if you've heard the story. But I had money for one more photo, and I'm like, okay, I've got to get Carl Urban because I want to tell him what I thought of the premiere and tell him that I'm going to get to talk to him again. And I don't know, to me, this sounded like a good idea. And I guess this was before I had really gone to these places and realized how fast they shove you through there when you get photos. You don't have time to do that. But so I went and I met Carl Urban. I got a photo. I'm like, I love the premiere. And he was really nice and everything. And I chose to get Carl Urban instead of Matt Smith because at the time I had kind of just started and wasn't like a huge Doctor Who fan. And now I hate myself because I could have gotten Matt Smith. Actually, Alex Kingston was there too. It was I was going between Carl Urban, Alex Kingston, and Matt Smith. And I will forever regret that I had a chance to meet Matt Smith and met Carl Urban. Look, I'm not saying I don't like Carl Urban. I do. But yeah.
Please don't mess with.
Damn. I could have met Matt Smith. I could have met another doctor. Yes. So I will always forever regret that. Because obviously they don't come here a lot since it's not. I mean, they come to the United States sometimes, but not necessarily near me. Well, that was the United States.
Well, I made a choice between meeting Boris Karloff's daughter and Patrick Warburton, because I figured that Boris Karloff's daughter wasn't going to be like really lecturing as much anymore, and I might be able to see Patrick Warburton somewhere else.
So I don't know who the second person. I mean, I've heard of Boris Karloff, but I don't know who the other person is.
He's in Venture Brothers. He's in a whole bunch of stuff. He does a lot of voices.
Oh, cool.
He's in just like about everything. You've run into him. He's a crazy character.
Sure I probably have. I just probably don't recognize the name. But the problem is those damn things are too expensive. That's why I don't like conventions. I'm so, because I'm used to talking to people. Like, I don't know. I went there and it's like you get to see them for like 5 seconds and they shove you through. And it's like, well, that was a waste for, whatever it was, $100 for that picture.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't know. I like getting pictures. I don't get autographs. Like, I enjoy getting pictures and meeting the actors. But I will forever regret that because I've since not gotten to meet Matt Smith. And someday I want to meet Matt Smith. But hey, at least I talked to Nshudi and David Tennant, right? So that's something, I guess.
Yeah.
But not, I mean, Nshudi was technically in person since it was on video, but it wasn't in person, and we weren't allowed to have the video. But at least I got to talk to him before he left. So that's something. But yeah. So that's the end of my Carl Urban story. Sorry, really went off topic there. Yeah. So now I lost track of what we were talking about before.
Have you seen Venture Brothers?
Sorry. Some way, I don't know if you're he or she, but some way, or they, apologies, some way was asking about Almost Human. And I think somebody asked about another show after that. And then I got completely sidetracked. Predator, Killer of Killers. I don't know I've seen Predator. I don't know. I've seen a Predator, Killer of Killers. Or are you just calling it Killer of Killers?
Is it the next movie after the Prey one that they have?
No, I have not seen that in a while. And yes, season 1, if you mean, of Almost Human was great. I was really upset when they canceled that, as they did a lot of things. It also makes me think of, for whatever reason, and I don't know if it's got one of the same people or not, but the other show that they canceled right away that reminds me of is Minority Report when it came out as a series.
I didn't know it was even a series.
Yeah, not very long.
That's too bad.
Not very long.
Because I like Minority Report, the story, and I like the movie. The story's good too.
No, it was a series, but not very long. Humans. Now, okay.
Yeah, Humans.
Someone said Almost Human. Humans is also good.
Yeah.
Okay, you're a guy. Okay, thank you, some way. After this conversation, I feel bad because I tend to just pick. But yes, I've seen Humans. I don't think I've seen all of Humans. I've seen most of Humans. I enjoyed Humans.
Mm-hmm.
I had talked to the one who plays the main cyborg woman in that,
Mm-hmm.
and I saw that for that reason. And I don't think I ever finished it. I did like it though. But yeah, I'd like to see the end.
That's one you can get. That's the one you can
I
get
like
out.
his abs, Justin. I don't know that I envy his abs because I'm a girl, but I like his abs. Let's see, an animated anthology. Yeah, I'm not sure. I didn't know there was an animated Predator. Interesting, but yeah, I didn't know there was.
The Critical Drinker is awesome.
Yeah, I remember. I think it was you that told me about that. I had watched. I think one of them. I had not like continually watched it, but I had watched one of them.
Yeah, but Humans is one of those shows you can get on Hoopla and Canopy and other things through your library. Like each episode's a rental, but it's easier, you know.
Wait, what is the Predator?
Humans.
Oh, Humans. Okay. Yeah.
I mean, there's a bunch of TV shows, but I got watching Humans because of the library system, because Hoopla had the episodes for free.
Okay, yeah,
and I could borrow them.
A lot of stuff through the library.
Yeah.
Homework is cool.
Yeah, but a lot of things when they're on streaming services, then you can't get them through the library, you know, because there's no DVDs.
I didn't think about that. Yeah, I guess that would probably be a reason you couldn't.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, I don't know. I just wish I had more time to watch a lot of the things I want to watch. Like I love, don't get me wrong, I love, you know, getting screeners and I always appreciate it. But sometimes I have so much that I have to watch. It's like I can't watch the things I would like to watch because I run out of time. Tonight I have to watch the new Bosch series, Ballard. I need to watch some of it before tomorrow. Because I would like, the other thing I'd like to watch more of, I don't want to mention because I don't know if it's under embargo or not. There's something else I'd prefer to watch that I have screeners of. Not that I don't like Bosch. I do. I like Bosch a lot, but something else. What's the premise of Humans? Humans is about tonight. Yes, Justin, tonight. I will probably be up way too late again. I was going to watch it earlier and I was doing some other stuff and didn't get to. But yes, it's about androids that are people own as like housekeepers.
Doc put it pretty well.
Sorry?
Doc put it pretty well. Androids and homes becoming kind of.
Yeah, they sort of revolt, I think, don't they?
Yeah,
I think so. And yes, Colin Morgan has nice cheekbones and eyes. I'm just responding to that comment. Yeah, I don't know. It's like there needs to be more like of science fiction sci-fi on. There's not a lot like right now. Like I'm just thinking I wouldn't mind watching Westworld again, but I'm still a little salty that it was canceled. I think you are too.
I didn't really like seasons 3 and 4, and I'm a big component of season 2 because a lot of people don't like season 2, but I think season 2 has a lot of positive things about it, including my favorite episode.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. The one that I didn't enjoy as much, and it's not that it wasn't good, I still liked it, but I would say I liked less, was the one that wasn't about the main androids, that it was about the guy from help me out here. It was about the other guy. That like the whole story, what the hell's his name? The guy from Breaking Bad. It was about his character. When they brought him in, like the story completely changed what it was about for most of the season.
Mm-hmm.
Was that season 4? I think that was season 4.
That was season 3 and 4.
Okay. I didn't.
That's where it was, because he was kind of like an everyman, but he was still kind of playing the character he was playing Breaking Bad.
Yeah, I liked it. Don't get me wrong. I just wanted to see the end of the show I was watching.
Well, I didn't like something in season 3 that I'm not going to say because it's a big spoiler if people haven't seen it.
Yeah, no.
I didn't like when Dolores Blah.
When Dolores Blah. Okay, there's some things that Dolores did. I think I know what you're probably talking about. Yes, I didn't like when Dolores Blah either. If you're talking about what I think you are. But yeah, that sucks. You didn't get to finish it. You probably
was supposed to be Blah, but ended up Blah.
Yeah, you probably have to get DVDs, I'm guessing, to see it. I don't. Yeah, that really sucks. rip it off.
Yeah,
I
when
wish
they
they
were still showing it, they had like Amazon had their DVD sets pretty cheap, so I just bought them. And then it was funny that they took it off HBO, and I'm like, what are they doing?
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely have season 1 and 2 because I bought it when it was
Yeah.
on 4K when it was cheap.
Mhm.
Because it was like you had to get it and turn it in right away or something to get the digital versions because it was when they were stopping from adding digital versions. That's why I had gotten it, I remember.
Mhm.
Um, but I don't think I have 3
And
and
plus,
4.
I think those seasons on DVD have extras, which I
Yeah,
don't
they
think
do.
seasons 3 and 4 do.
Yeah, I don't know about, but I know the other
Unless they're
ones,
those like little short
the
featurettes
white
they
ones.
show
Yeah.
after the episodes on HBO. If
Well,
you know what I mean.
the problem is not enough people buy discs anymore. That's why a lot of them are like print on demand and don't come with stuff anymore,
Yeah.
or where they don't come,
Well,
they don't have
I
Blu-ray
do
before
because for
DVD.
one, my boyfriend has a cabin up north that doesn't have Wi-Fi, but it does have a DVD player.
Something to do.
So
Yeah.
that's one
I
reason I bring that. But also, a lot of times the Wi-Fi goes out, then I can throw on a disc.
No, I get that.
You
I just get upset like with the ones that they won't even make in
Yeah.
Blu-ray because they're print on
Hmm.
demand. Like I don't want to watch a DVD. Like if it's between watching a DVD and getting streaming service for a month or something, I'd rather go get the
Hmm.
dang streaming service because I'm not going to watch it.
I'd
And
rather get the DVD. I hate
well,
streaming. I hate
I
it.
I stream too much.
Yeah,
I don't
I
know.
don't
I don't
like
buy.
it.
To be fair, I don't buy DVDs as much as I used to. If I buy a DVD, it's got to be because there's special features. Like they need to
Yeah.
start putting more special features on there. Like
Hmm.
I think the last thing I bought might have been season 1 of The Last of Us. I think when I got it,
Hmm.
um, which I'll probably buy season 2, but or
Hmm.
maybe it might have been Doctor Who. I don't know, one of those two. I finally quit buying Doctor Who though. I just watch it on streaming, and that's like my
Hmm.
favorite show that's on air pretty much, and I
Yeah.
still do that. So, or now I just watch it on streaming.
See, that's when
It's so much
problems.
easier. I know,
Yeah,
but that is a
but
problem.
that's when problems happen because one of my friends used to watch The Office all the time on Netflix, and they took The Office off Netflix.
Yeah, you definitely run the risk of that happening. I'm
Yeah.
just kind of like what usually happens to me is it's more work to get the discount. The other thing is, and this is my own fault, I have still, as much as I keep saying I'm going to, I still have never gotten around to buying a regular remote for my PlayStation or my
Mm.
Xbox. So like
Hmm.
if I want to watch a disc, because I don't have a DVD player anymore, all I have is my systems because I didn't have room. I had to get rid of it. It's like I
Hmm.
have to use the stupid controller to try to watch the disc. So I
That's
tend to
pretty
watch
easy.
streaming here. It is
It's
if
not.
you
It's
remember how to
easy
do
to
it, but
do. I do it
but
all
see,
the
I don't
time.
watch them enough that I actually remember. I'm usually Googling, how do you
You just go
rewind
to
on the
media,
controller?
and then
Yeah.
you go to the picture of the disc, and you hit on it.
Yeah. Um, yeah, no, I never remember and I can't, yeah, I don't have a regular DVD player. I probably should just buy
Yeah.
a regular DVD player
But
again.
I'm a physical media type of girl. I like DVDs. I like records. I have record player. You know,
I understand
I'd
that.
rather
I
get
have
a CD or even a cassette from a band than just something from Bandcamp that's digital.
I get that. I've bought some, like if it wasn't for bonus features, it was generally because I wanted the 4K. I'm the person that I
Yeah.
want the high quality. So I
Hmm.
do in certain instances buy 4K regardless.
Hmm.
I don't lately, but when I got it, I kind of felt like I spent the money getting, well, in this case,
Hmm.
PlayStation at the time, or maybe it was an Xbox. I can't remember. I have both of them now.
Hmm.
But at the time, I was like, this was my reasoning for putting the money into the game system because now I have a 4K player. So I was like, well, I got to buy
Hmm.
discs for it. Otherwise, why the hell did I do that? So
Hmm.
so at that time when I bought the system, I did get a few 4K discs, but I don't as much now. I tend to stream because usually you get them
Hmm.
in 4K when you stream, except now Netflix, you got to pay different for that. And Max, you got to pay if you want that. It's like bull. I don't
Yeah.
understand that you have to pay more money to get a higher rate stream. That's bullshit. I'm sorry.
Hmm.
So,
That's how they get you.
well, they sometimes, yes. When it comes to Max, they didn't get me because we got Max free with our cell phone. So we don't have 4K anymore
Mm.
because I ain't paying for it. It's
Hmm.
free. I will go with free. Um, but yeah, usually I'd prefer to watch the better quality because I like to see the special effects and stuff.
Hmm.
I'm into that stuff. I just wish they would
And
do
plus, I
more
was
stuff
kind of getting
on it.
through the end of Twin Peaks: The Return, but like all of David Lynch's stuff has does hours of footage on it, just
Yeah, when
hours
they
of
have
really
that
kind
many
of cool
bonus,
stuff going on.
yeah, when they have that many bonus features on it,
Mhm.
it definitely makes you want to buy it. Sorry, I missed a comment. I don't know what Raj's World is. Do you know Raj World? Do you know what that is?
Yeah, it's a Westworld.
Oh,
That was the Indian world that they had
Oh,
like the tiger.
okay, okay.
That the one
Okay.
girl, the man in Black's daughter, I can't remember her name, was that.
The girl
Spoilers,
from
sorry.
Evil? The one from Evil?
What?
Girl from Evil? Gotcha.
The girl from Abel.
The one, if you're talking about who I think you're talking about, Katja Herbers. I was talking
Emily.
about that.
Her name was Emily.
I don't remember what her name was in the show. Yes, her name was Emily. That is who I was talking about. I didn't remember the name of the world, but yeah.
Raj World.
Raj World. Okay.
I thought maybe did you ever look at the website and stuff for Westworld? It was really cool.
Oh, yes, the bot and everything.
Yeah.
Yes, the web maze. I was definitely into the web maze when it was out and trying to find clues from the site, but they never finished it, so it did not get continuity from me. But yeah, I did look at it when it was out. I remember that. That was fun. I like web mazes. They don't do them enough. They need to do them more often. But yeah, there's not enough good robot shows recently. They need more good Android shows.
Companion's a good movie.
Yes, and I will watch that. I do want to watch that.
Yeah.
But there's some good sci-fi. There's just not enough sci-fi, and like there's hardly any sci-fi on Sci-Fi Channel anymore.
There's probably more sci-fi now than ever.
No, there is, but there's still not enough.
Streaming
like, I just feel like I want something else to watch. That's
a lot of indie films. There's probably more people doing indie films that can put them on Vimeo or they're accessible now.
Films. But I'm saying, like, I wish there was more television series that were more sci-fi. But I'm glad at least Revival is out and Resident
Well,
Alien
I think they kind of like spent like Amazon spent a lot of money on like The Expanse, so I don't, are they gonna go spend a ton of money on another series?
Yeah, no, but it's like even Wheel of Time. Well, Wheel of Time was more fantasy than sci-fi, but like, that's on, and that sucks. They canceled that. But I don't know. And like you said before, Reginald, they got rid of. I really liked that show.
Yeah.
I don't know if Surreal Estate's going to come back. Although, like we said on our show last week, Surreal Estate this season wasn't as good. But I still liked it enough. I still wanted to give it another chance. And I don't know if it's coming back. I'm guessing probably not. I would like it to. But yeah, Sci-Fi Channel doesn't have that many shows compared to what it used to have. Not that I don't like other genres. I just obviously sci-fi is kind of I guess my favorite in general. Or
they're called Sci-Fi Vision, yeah.
Yeah, well, I cover everything, but that's what I started with was sci-fi. So, so I'd like to see more sci-fi, but but there's lots of stuff coming. Well, not lots of stuff. There's some things coming out. I was trying to think. There's some things that are coming out, just haven't yet. But yeah. Let's see. Anything else about this? What do you all think of Black Mirror? I unfortunately have still not watched more of the Black Mirror than the 2 episodes. But I've been told that that the episodes I saw do not represent the series, and I need to watch it and give it another chance. And I will eventually. I feel like I say that all the time, but I just don't have time to watch these things. I will, especially because I want to see the quality episode, and I haven't gotten that far.
Yeah, to me, it was another Netflix problem. When I had Netflix, I watched the first season. But it's interesting how people reference the first season as their favorite episodes. So,
well,
I don't know how much I missed.
I don't know if it was the first episode or the second episode, but the first episode, I think it was the first one.
With the
turned me off. Yeah, it turned me off of it and made me not want to watch it. And I've been told I still need to give it a chance and that it's not all like that. And I do think it's a show I would like. I really do, because it seems like exactly something I would love. But I just
I watched Bandersnatch because that was the Choose Your Own Adventure one.
Yeah,
so it's kind of interesting. Yeah,
I need to watch it. Or maybe I need to do more watch parties, then it'll get me to watch this stuff. But I don't know. I'm already doing so many of them.
Yeah.
I need more time in my days. That's for sure.
Just don't sleep.
Huh?
So don't sleep.
Don't sleep. I already don't get enough sleep. That's part of my problem already.
Yeah.
Almost 2. I don't know. Anything else about, I don't know if there's anything else about Murderbot. Other than it looks so weird that they erase his body parts. Like, his nipples have been hidden. I don't know
Oh,
if that's
there's
digital.
no nipples. Oh my god, I didn't notice that.
You've never noticed that, yeah. It's the
No,
Kindle effect, I guess. But yeah.
I guess it's such a common thing to do nowadays. It doesn't even faze me.
Yeah. Well,
Like you
they
see in video games, and like that dude definitely needs nipples.
oh yeah, when they I guess in video games sometimes maybe, but yeah.
Yeah,
It's just I guess it's I don't know what the point is in the show, if it's to make him less human. I'm not sure. I mean, I'm sure it's in the book that way. I never really thought about it.
probably just to make the
They
second
don't
unit
have
more.
body hair. Some way says they don't have body hair. I mean,
Yeah,
that kind of makes sense.
just to make the second unit more like streamlined. I'm assuming.
Yeah, maybe. Well, I mean, he doesn't have a penis either, but I mean that he's not a sex bot.
Streamlined,
So I kind of
streamlined.
get that he doesn't have a penis, uh, unless it's like we were talking before, taxable,
Yeah.
like the BB wants. I mean, to be fair, I'm sure if I saw him as a sec unit, I would probably be thinking about that too. So maybe it's getting late. You can clearly tell we're in our after dark discussion again. But yeah, it's just a little weird when I think when you see that when they show him as a Ken doll, as I say. But yes, streamline could make a difference, I guess. But also, like, if they want them to do the stuff they're supposed to do, giving them like a sex drive and stuff probably would not be helpful. When they change, adding body hair is also done. That's interesting. These are interesting things. I'm like surprised that that's like something in the book, like that kind of a little detail is interesting. Um, yeah. I don't know what they'll do though if he change like how I would like to know how long or how often the person the it whatever you want to say a sec unit how long sec unit changes. I hope this isn't like a Doctor Who thing where it's not going to be Alexander. I don't want it to change completely for a long time. I hope
Like
it's just like a little
all suddenly Sakina has a beard. This
well
grows
no,
out.
I just mean like I don't want them to use a different actor to completely change it.
Oh, I don't think so. Just with body hair.
No, but earlier some way it
Oh, with
said
the
that
height and stuff. With height.
yeah, that sec unit changes different things, height and
Yeah.
way it looks and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I want them to still use Alexander Skarsgård. I mean, but I guess though, really, I mean, generally when they cast somebody, they're going to, I would think, keep them. It worked for Doctor Who, but that doesn't mean it works for other things. So yeah. Well, I think it sounds like we're slowing down. We're getting close to 2 hours.
Hey.
Do you have anything else? I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I don't know that there's anything else about the episode I can think of. I'm kind of running out of steam. What about you guys? Anything else? He's rogue and illegal. That's cool. That's interesting. I do want to try reading the book though. I do think it sounds good. So I'd like to see that. But yeah, I don't know, guys and people in the chat. Anything else you want to discuss before we wrap up? We've been very active tonight, and we very much appreciate it.
Yep.
But yeah, I'm kind of running out of ideas here.
It's fine. It's almost 2 hours. It's good.
No, I know. I'm just trying to think if there's anything else, and I think we've gone through everything. I've said before, like I wish we'd see more of, well, not just only more of Sanctuary Moon, but more
of the other show,
of the other shows. Yeah. Thanks, Kimberly. Rap for us. No, I can't sing. You don't want to hear me sing even rap. You don't want to. Although I will say, and I think I had mentioned this before, I started and I never finished it. I need to work more on it. I had started using Suno to make a intro song for this, but I didn't like it. It was too pop. I don't know. It just didn't work. So I didn't use it, but I would like to do that. But thanks for coming, Someway. It's good to have you, and everybody else. Thank you for coming. I think unless anybody in the chat has anything else, I think I'm about, like I said, I'm about ready to run out of steam. But thank you guys. Make sure you tune in tomorrow at 10 p.m. Eastern for our roundup show. We'll be talking a little bit more about Murderbot, as well as Dead City and Revival and Resident Alien. And then, of course, Thursday, Scarlet and I will be back at 11 for Librarians the Next Chapter. And then Friday's Revival with Lori, and then Sunday's Dead City with Lori. So yeah, we've got so much going on now. And pretty soon, the three of us, I guess, because I guess Lori's going to join us, Scarlet, me, and Lori on Sunday nights. We'll be doing the Institute once it starts on the 13th of next month. And we'll also be having a watch party when it drops. And then Karen and AJ and I are going to be reviewing it later on in the week as well. UDO. Yeah, I don't know. I just tried Suno because it was cheap, and I don't know. I haven't really looked into UDO. I do want to do Eastern some way. It's always Eastern time zone. Sorry. Doc, I think you've made AI videos too, right? Because I want to know what programs people use for the videos. That's what I'm trying to do, because I really would like to start animating some of the stuff. Like I want to animate a raven for my my logo. I've used the Gemini credits and ran out and kind of gave up, but I want to know some of the apps, and I unfortunately cannot. I don't think I can do much locally. My video card will not handle the video aspect very well. I don't know, because I'd like to try running some of that, but yeah, images I'm good with. Video not strong enough. Halulu and Gal. I'm trying to think of the other one. I'm gonna have to write that down so I know what that is. I was gonna get what? See, now I'm gonna try to think of what it's called, and I'm never gonna remember what it's called now that I said that. But you can't copy dang chat. I'm taking a picture, don't mind me. So I see the names. But no, I'm blanking. It's the one that a lot of people use for the animation, because you can get a lot for a month. But yeah, they're expensive. Kling. Yeah, Kling, but Kling's expensive, I think, isn't it? I mean, I've definitely heard of Kling, but I know there is a local install now I want to try, but I just don't think my video card's not, I don't think they'll enough for that. Sorry, I'm probably boring everybody else who has no clue what we're talking about, but Jamie's into AI stuff. It's fun. But yeah. But anyway, I did start, my point of all of that was that I got off track. I did start trying to make a song for Murderbot, and I'm designing one for SciFi Vision just for the hell of it, but have not shown everybody yet. So maybe eventually. But thanks guys for coming. We appreciate it, and I will see you guys hopefully again tomorrow. And like I said, Scarlet and I will be back on Thursday. And yes, Doc, it is. That's why I want something local. And I know there is a local one now, but I don't think you can do very long on the local unless you have a better expensive video card that I don't have. So, and oh yeah, and the other thing is, I was going to say, I don't know, you guys. I plan to come Thursday, but I don't know if I should. Thursday's my birthday. I intended to go out.
Oh,
Friday. No, Friday's my birthday. Look, I don't even know what day it is. What day is today? Wait, no, Thursday. I was right the first time. Next Thursday.
Thursday.
17th, right? Next Thursday is my birthday. Okay. See, I don't even know what day it is.
What's the day, Jamie?
26th. It's the 26th.
It's not this Thursday then.
It's not this Thursday. It's next Thursday.
I know you're getting excited.
No, it's next Thursday, but I will be home by that time. Let's put it that way.
Oh, let's sing happy birthday to you on that Thursday.
Thank you. Yes, thank you. Yes, early birthday. I don't know what made me think of it. I just thought of it all of a sudden, but it's still a week away. But yeah, I guess it's not surprising that I have a live stream that day, considering I'm doing them 5 days a week. That's not surprising, I guess. But
it's confusing.
It is confusing. I never know what day it is anymore. Like that's why when I start to show, I'm always like, it's this day, and it's like I gotta look at the calendar. I don't know what day it is. I know it's Monday. Well, it's not even Monday now. It's Tuesday now. Yeah. Anyway, thanks, guys. It's okay.
I was gonna say Tuesday Murderbot. This doesn't have the same ring.
Yeah, no, yeah, midnight.
It's midnight Murderbot or Monday night Murderbot.
Yeah, midnight Murderbot.
The cadence.
But we have to. I'll have to work on that. Maybe I can get a rap version of the song that'll sound a little better for Midnight Murderbot. But thanks, guys, and thanks for coming. And yeah,
try to get something that sounds more like Daft Punk.
Daft Punk, yeah, maybe. I'll have to. I gotta try it. I worked on it a little bit, and then because I got behind on everything else.
Use robot voices. Use robot voices.
I don't know if they have robot voices. They may on some of them. On the one
they
I'm
totally
using,
I have robot voices.
No, I know, but I mean on Suno, I think it's like use male or female, and that's pretty much the choice you get. I'll have to try some different things, but I don't know. So far, it sounded too emo, too pop. I didn't love it. So, but I like the lyrics. It just didn't work. Maybe I'll write some of my own. All right, guys. Sorry, I'm going off on a tangent now. We're at about 2 hours, but thank you everybody for coming. We appreciate it, and we will see you next time. Don't forget to join Discord if you have. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. Yeah, but yeah, don't forget, guys, to join Discord, and please try to I would like to make my Discord more active. I've tried to like type and prompt people in Discord, but nobody ever really says much in my Discord, so I can't strike up conversations very well. I'd like to talk to y'all. I didn't know there was robotic voices. I'll have to try that. Thanks, Doc. Yes, I'm on manual mode because I was adding my own lyrics for most of it, but I didn't realize you could change the voice. I haven't looked a lot into it. I'll have to try that. And then maybe next time we'll have a cool Midnight Murderbot theme song. We'll try. Yeah, that would be cool. All right, guys. Have a good night and see you at the next one.
Good night.